Two of the best OLED TVs of 2023, the LG C3 OLED and the Samsung S90C OLED. These are both amazing TVs really, but which one's better for you and for your specific situation? Let's find out. First, let's talk about the design of both. Both TVs have very thin bezels and sleek stands, but the Samsung S90C has a slightly more premium look with its metal frame and curved screen. The LG C3 OLED has a flat screen and a plastic frame, but is still very elegant and minimalist. Both TVs are very thin and light, but the S90C is a bit heavier and thicker than the LG C3 OLED, so bear that in mind when making your choice. Now, let's talk about the picture quality. Both TVs, as I said at the beginning, use OLED panels. This means that they have perfect blacks, infinite contrast, and wide viewing angles. However, the Samsung S90C has a slight edge over the LG C3 OLED in terms of brightness and color saturation, especially in HDR. The Samsung S90C can reach up to 1073 nits of peak brightness in a 10% window, while the LG C3 OLED can only reach up to 820 nits. The S90C can reach up to 10,073 nits of peak brightness in a 10% window, while the LG C3 OLED can only reach up to 820 nits. The Samsung S90C also has a wider color gamut and covers more of the REC 2020 and UHDA P3 color spaces than the LG C3 OLED. This means that the Samsung S90C can display more vivid and realistic colors, especially in HDR content. However, the LG C3 has some advantages as well over the Samsung S90C. The LG C3 OLED supports Dolby Vision, which is a dynamic HDR format that adjusts the brightness and contrast in each scene. The Samsung S90C only supports HDR10 and HDR10 Plus, which are static HDR formats that use the same settings for the whole video. The LG C3 OLED also supports DTS audio formats, which are commonly used in Blu-ray discs and streaming services. The S90C only supports Dolby audio formats, which are not as widely available. Finally, let's talk about the smart features and gaming performance. Both TVs run on their own smart platforms. The LG C3 uses WebOS, while the Samsung uses Tizen. Both platforms are easy to use and have a lot of apps and features, but WebOS is slightly more user-friendly in my view and intuitive than Tizen. Both TVs also have voice assistants. The LG has Google Assistant and Alexa, while the Samsung has Bixby and Alexa. Both TVs can control your smart home devices and answer your questions, but Google Assistant and Alexa are more reliable and versatile than Bixby, for sure, at least in my opinion. Now for gaming, the Samsung S90C is the clear winner. It has a lower input lag than the LG C3, which means it responds faster to your commands. It also supports 4K at 144 Hz, while the LG C3 is limited to 4K at 120 Hz. This means that the Samsung S90C can display smoother and clearer motion, especially in fast-paced games. The Samsung S90C also has a variable refresh rate feature, which can reduce screen tearing and stuttering. The LG C3 OLED does not have this feature. So, the big question now is, which TV should you buy? That is of course gonna depend on your preferences and budget. The LG C3 is a great TV for movie fans as it supports Dolby Vision and DTS audio formats. It also has a slightly lower price than the Samsung S90C, especially for the 55-inch and 65-inch models. However, the Samsung S90C is a better TV for gamers and HDR enthusiasts. It has a higher brightness, a wider color gamut, and a higher refresh rate. It also has a more premium design and a curved screen, which can enhance your viewing experience. So, that's it for this comparison, guys. I hope you find it helpful and informative. I hope you learned something new. Well, see you next time. Peace.